Good morning. I'm Frank Loy, the chair of the Institute of Medicine's Roundtable on Environmental Health Sciences, Medicines, and Research. And on behalf of that roundtable, many of the members of the roundtable are right here, I'd like to welcome you along with our co-sponsor of this event, which is the National Research Council's Committee on Science, Technology, and the Law. So we've put this program together because the issue, which has got to have the blandest title you can imagine, Principles and Best Practices for Sharing Data from Environmental Health Research. I mean, if you didn't know what the hell this was about, you wouldn't come to this, I believe. But in fact, as I think Lynn Goldman will tell us in a moment, there are issues here that are vital to everybody in this room, I suspect, and that are vital to the health community that deals with the subject of environmental health, medicine, and science. So I will let Lynn Goldman, the vice chair of this organization, talk to us about that in a moment. But at first, let me thank some of the people that really made this event possible. And the first is the planning committee. These sessions, such as the one today, don't just happen. You have to think about how to tackle the issue and whom to ask to speak. And the planning committee members did that, and I want to thank them. They're Ellen Wright Clayton, Dennis Devlin, Lynn Goldman, Bernie Goldstein, Suzette Kimball, David Korn, Linda McCauley, Alan Morrison, Joe Rodrigues, Susan Santos, and Kimberly Thigpen-Tart. Some of them are here, but I want to thank all of them because they did an enormous amount of work. The way we're going to be organized is in 5 sessions that are hopefully going to be held on time, and in the sessions there are participants who will be introduced by the moderators of those sessions, and the bios of almost all, I think of all of the participants, are in your materials. But I want to just say a word about the moderators of each of those 5 sessions. Session 1, which deals with a brief history and the current legal framework, will be moderated by Alan Morrison, who is the Lerner Family Associate Dean for Public Interest and Public Service at George Washington University Law School. And he's a member of the NRC's Committee on Science, Technology, and the Law. Thank you, Alan. Session 2 is going to be moderated by Gwen Coleman, who is the director of the NIEHS Division of Extramural Research and Training. She leads a team that actually administers and manages 1,500 grants a year. An enormous task, and therefore would have a hands-on experience with what we're talking about today. The 3rd session, which deals with some of the issues raised in data sharing. As data sharing becomes more and more the norm, especially with federal contracts, what are some of the issues that we worry about? That is going to be chaired by Glenn Paulson, who is a science advisor to the EPA administrator. And as such, you can imagine that he meets these problems frequently and has thought about them a good deal. The 4th session, which is on some of the practices or tools we can employ. What can we actually do to increase the likelihood that the benefits we've been talking about will be realized and that some of the risks will be avoided? And that session will be led by Lynn Goldman, who's an epidemiologist, a pediatrician, educator, former EPA regulator, and now star fundraiser for the George Washington University School of Public Health, and is really the spark plug of this the roundtable that is sponsoring this event today. So that is our session. I guess we didn't have a brief reflections as to what the hell we've learned, or what is left to be learned, and how we tackle that. And I will handle that at the very end. And at the end of that, everything will be unbelievably clear. So, the other people we have to thank, however, are the staff of the Institute of Medicine's Roundtable, particularly Kathleen Stratton, who has really pulled this together, Rosemarie Martinez, Aaron Rush, Hope Hare, and Colin Fink. And they are here, and we thank them because they have really done a fabulous job. And for the staff of the NRC Committee on Law and Science, it is Anne-Marie Maza, and we thank her as well. With that, for a while, my role is over, and I'm going to turn it over to Lynn, who is going to tell us what we're going to learn. She's probably going to do it in such a good fashion that most of us can leave right afterward. No? Anyway, Lynn Goldman, the Vice Chair of the Roundtable and the Dean of the School of Public Health at GW. Lynn.